Good morning. So today I want to do a video on this subject, the man who built his house on sand. The man who built his house on sand. Now to us, this may seem to be a very, very foolish way to build a house on the sand. But today, it's a lot of us who our house is actually built on sand. And what house am I? I'm talking about our spiritual house. That's what I'm talking about, our spiritual house. We read in Luke chapter 6, verse. Let's start at verse 40. It'll do us some justice if we start at verse 46. Here is Jesus talking. Jesus said, Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not what I say? As for everyone who comes to me and hear my words and put them into practice, I will show you what they are like. They are like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on a rock. When the floods came, rent struck that house, but could not shake it because it was built well built. But the one who hears my word and does not put them into practice is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck that house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete. So I'm reading in the NIV, the New International Version of this particular passage in Luke. But here you see Jesus first talks about a man who builds his house on a rock. So let's put in our mind a rock. We know a rock is, solid. It takes a lot to move a solid rock. But he compares that to a man who builds his house on sand. And that sand is his foundations. So when the storm came and beat upon that house, its fall was great. We cannot build our house on anything other than that rock, which is Christ. Any other thing is sinking sand. This life brings us many, many troubles. It brings us many troubles. Many things will happen. But if you have not the right foundation, your fall will be great. It will be great. because your foundation will be tested. It will be tested. So I think we should test. We should see what our foundation is made of. Is it on the rock? But is it on the rock, which is Christ, or is it on sand? Now you notice in this passage that I read is that it's something that Jesus said that if we don't pay attention to it, we can overlook what it is that Jesus is saying. Now Jesus said that he who hear his word and do it versus he who hears it and not do it. Those are also two things that separate the two foundations. The one who hears it and do it, their foundation is on the rock. But they who hears it and don't do it, well, they find themselves the foundation being on sand. Okay? So it goes beyond knowing, reading the word of God and not doing it versus reading it and putting it into works. Now, this is not a work salvation, if I must mention, at all. It's by grace that we are saved, not by our works, but because we come to the knowledge and we have came to, it's going to change us organically. So we're going to be changed. So, what is your foundation? Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment down below. Peace.